This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories tonight are $200 billion erased from the crypto market. Texas residents can now sue social networks. Twitter's market share drops below $9 billion. And Apple ends the iPod Touch. I want to welcome you to episode 1601 of the Geek News Central podcast for Thursday, May 12th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Hey, I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners and viewers of the show. Thank you for being here. Get over to geeknewscentral.com. Please subscribe or follow to the show. You can also sign up for our newsletter while you're on the website. That'll keep you connected with the podcast. Of course, you can join our chat room at geeknews.chat or our Discord channel as well. You can always contact me via email, geeknews@gmail.com, or I'm on Twitter at geeknews. You can follow me on Facebook anytime as well. All the partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com. That includes the new media show, The Gadget Professor, and GNC Weekend Review. Of course, this show is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends at GoDaddy. You can save lots of money by going over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy and using one of my promo codes, whether it be 30% off a new product purchase, a $4.99.com on new or transferred domains for new customers only, or a $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain. Of course, we've got that $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain as well, or even a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. So I want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor here, and you, by supporting our sponsor, it's just writing a check. It's just like making a donation to the show. And really, every penny that comes back is used to support the show and do what I do here, keep the lights on, keep the rent paid, pay for the air conditioning bill this time of year. So definitely consider picking up a GoDaddy product or service. We appreciate it when you do. And thank you so much for GoDaddy for being a long-time sponsor here of the podcast. Well, as many of you heard on episode 1600, if you listened to the live version, you heard me coughing quite a bit. For those of you that listened to the podcast, I actually went in and edited as much as I could, and hopefully I got everything because it was a rough night. And I'm still like about 65%. Just cannot. It's been 1 week at this point, and still coughing. Still got a nose that doesn't want to quit running. It's not as bad as it was, but I get about this time at night every night, and I just about feel like I hit the wall. So I'm going to do the best we can. And as a reminder, next week I'm going to be in Orlando. So no shows next week. I will be back with you a week from Monday, doing a show that day. Then I leave again for Orlando. So again, on and off with the shows here for the next couple of weeks. And with that, I'm going to wait until the next show to announce our $50 winner for the prize that we announced in episode 1600. So go ahead and get your entries in. You got a few more days and we'll do that. Of course, as a reminder, I'm hiring a mid-level developer at Blueberry. If you're interested, send me an email at geeknews@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you over the link to that job listing. Of course, with the ongoing travel and everything, we're going to continue as is, and I appreciate all of you having patience here. So, yes, Jody says in the commentary that we skipped spring. Right, we went from winter to 88 degrees, and this is the worst spring cold I think I've ever had And no, it wasn't COVID. But boy, I tell you, COVID was not as rough as what I've had this thing. This thing's been horrible. But hey, Toby, thanks for checking in and saying hello as well. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just kind of done. Just kind of done with this. I don't get it. Why it's taken so long to beat this thing? It just keeps hanging and hanging and hanging, and I'm just oh, isn't that interesting? The Google Home device just replied over in the other room, and I wasn't even calling its name. I know you couldn't hear it, but I did. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the stack of stuff tonight. And again, I hope episode 1600 was decipherable. And I apologize again tonight. Definitely not running on full engine here, but we'll see what I can do to get through. So Apple's announced the end of the production of the iPod Touch. And, the device was popular. And, if you think about devices, if you go back and think about devices that really made an impact, and if you really think the Sony Walkman made a huge impact, the iPod obviously was the next piece that made a big impact. And of course, the iPod Touch really kind of took on what more looked like an iPhone versus the early days of iPods. But this is an interesting end of an era. The original iPod was released in 2001. So even 3 years before podcasting took off, the iPod was a thing. So it had a little hard drive in it. I tore one of those apart. Probably they're worth a lot of money at this point, but it changed music forever. Music and podcasting. You could buy tracks for 99 cents. Now you just pay a subscription. You get all the music you want for a subscription, right? So anyway, a big day here, big history day with the end of production of the iPod Touch. If any of you have any of those laying around, I don't have one for the wall back here. Doesn't have to be operable at all. If any of you have one that you'd like to get rid of, let me know. We'll add it to the wall back there of stuff that is come and gone. I may go on eBay and try to find one, scoop one up, and put it back there. But yeah, let me know if you want to donate one to the show. Hey, more than $200 billion was erased from the entire crypto market in a day as sell-off intensifies. And so Bitcoin fell below 26,000 for the first time, and people are kind of freaking out. It's kind of ironic because I've heard recently about some of the Coinbase issues, and I had not too much in there. I had like $100 in Coinbase, and I transferred it out into my PayPal account a couple of days ago. So, but now everyone's running scared about margins and all these companies being able to stay afloat. So we'll see what happens here. But anyway, this is the way the cookie rumbles. If you haven't checked lately, the stock market's down too. So it's not just Bitcoin. Everything else is on the decline. The Texas law that was enacted is now in effect, and it'll allow users to sue social media networks over censorship. So if you live in Texas and you feel you have been censored by a social media platform with more than 50 million active users, such as Facebook and Twitter, if you think you've been banned for your political views, or if you find that they're prohibiting social networks from, they also have enacted that they prohibit social media networks from removing or restricting content based on the viewpoint of the user or another person. So we'll see what happens here, but this has went through, and we'll see what happens over time. But the court allowed it to go forward. So I'm sure people are not happy about it. But the trade industry groups Net Choice and Computer and Communication Industry managed to secure an injunction against the law last year, but it has been that's been overturned. So here we go. We'll see what happens. Also in news today, Twitter's market cap has dropped below $9 billion. This is below Elon Musk's purchase price as concerns about the deal emerge. People still think there's about a 90% probability to go through, but there's enough speculation that investors are running away. So sooner he can close that deal and take the company private, the better. But they've slid 13% since reaching its high for the year, and it closed today at like $45. So it gives you an idea of where it's at. And he agreed to a $54.20 takeover fee for the stock. So time will tell. Astronomers are really going crazy today, and I don't fully understand the ramifications of this, but astronomers are revealing the first black hole they've been able to get an image of right here in our out in our Milky Way. So for the first time, humanity has stared into the dark heart of an unfathomable chaos at the center of the Milky Way and brought its shadow form into focus. The object staring back as it is at Sagittarius A is a monstrous black hole that binds our home galaxy together. On Thursday, scientists with the Event Horizon Telescope collaboration revealed their first direct visual evidence of Sagittarius A, or SGRA, in a coordinated worldwide press conference composed of over 300 researchers. The collaboration made headlines 3 years ago for unveiling the first image of any black hole and has been attempting to image SGRA since 2009. And so the image, this is what they've been trying to take a picture of. And it's interesting. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm glad it's a long ways away from us. That's for sure. Switching up topics here, Sony has announced the WH-1000 XM5. That sounds almost like a fancy car. The WH-TAC 1000 XM5 headphones with new design and even better noise cancellation. They'll be available May 20th, starting at $399. They're not that unusual in the way that they look, but these apparently have much better sound noise cancellation. And again, a new design as well. So if you're into Sony headsets, beware. Over on Yahoo, they're saying over 100 companies, including Microsoft, Unilever, and H&M, say the EU should double down on renewable energy to cut off Russian gas and oil. Business execs want the EU to ramp up its transition to green energy. The Ukraine war has helped put pressure on the EU to ban oil from Russia, and these 100 companies signed an open letter today to the EU, and they want us to go green as quickly as possible. Twitter CEO has fired a couple of top product executives as the company cuts cost, and two, vice presidents or so got fired today, or they were asked to resign, something to that effect. And they're pausing most hiring and pulling back on non-labor cost. And so we'll see what's going to happen there. And apparently the current CEO wants to make some changes. It's an interesting thing to make changes when you're about to have potentially a new boss, or well, you know, the CEO will not have a new boss. He'll be gone. Coinbase did experience a major outage today as crypto prices plummet. They said your funds are safe and they were actively working on the issue, but apparently their servers got overloaded and with too much traffic. And of course, delays in withdrawals, leaving thousands of dollars in balance. People trying to cash out and get their money into greenbacks. So we'll see. When it takes a few minutes, when you do your sell order and it doesn't go through right away, it can cause problems. It can cause you to lose more than you already lost. Roku bundles its Pro Voice Remote and Ultra Streaming Box without raising the price. And this announced Thursday that its Ultra Streaming Box will include its Voice Remote Pro, which upgrades the company's standard remote by adding more buttons, always-on listening, and a rechargeable battery, despite the fact Roku is including a remote at that costs $30 to purchase on its own. The Ultra will stay at its original $99 price point. So this isn't the first time Roku was bundled in the remote with one of its streaming boxes. The $70 streaming stick 4K Plus also includes it. So how many of you actually need a Roku box anymore? Most of these TVs now are 100% smart and with Roku built in. 6 reasons to quit Chrome and switch to the Vivaldi, the enthusiast browser. And it's got some rave reviews over at PC World. I don't know if any of you have tried this browser or not, but people are pretty jazzing on this. And it's gotten a pretty good review. So it's got privacy and ad blocking. It has a side panel. What else? Tabs. I use lots of tabs. Built-in mail and calendar. Well, I've already got that. I don't need it. But was that the 6 reasons? So if any of you try this browser, I'd love to hear from you. Again, it's spelled Vivaldi, like all these, but Vivaldi. So link will be up in the show notes for you to check it out, of course. Android Auto is getting a major UI update. Google is adding better support for larger displays, in-car video streaming, and more. Really? Video car streaming? Why would you want to stream videos in the car? Is that when you're parked or when you're driving down the road? That is the question. So they're improving support for adaptive layouts. You can more easily adjust to growing variety of displays in new cars. Finally, for owners of cars with system based on Android Automotive, such as new vehicles from Ford, Volvo, and others, Google's expanding your in-car entertainment options with wider support for video streaming apps. Google announced earlier this year at CES the ability to stream clips from YouTube and now Tubi TV and Epix as well. So some moves happening on the Android side, as well as Android TV. Their next big update will improve picture-in-picture viewing. A beta update is already available for viewers. Google isn't just showering affection on Android phones and tablets. They also have detailed updates to Android 13 on TV, including one for living room multitaskers. So developers can grab the Android 13 TV Beta 2 today. So this is all going on during Google's big I/O event. Rivian, the truck company, has recalled 502 R1T trucks due to an airbag sensor issue. Airbags may not disable correctly when a child sits up front in an affected vehicle, so be aware of that. Very, very dangerous if an airbag went off and a child under the required weight limit was not sitting in the seat. So be very, very aware if you own one of these, which they're pretty rare out there still as well. So probably not too many people affected. Hulu, and I'm going to destroy this. Hulu will be streaming home for Lollapalooza through 2023. The platform will also live stream performances from Bonero and Austin City Limits this year and next. So you'll need to be a Hulu subscriber to catch the live streams from the festivals this year and next. Although you won't have to be on the live TV plan. 2 feeds will be available for each event Friday through Saturday. There will be one live stream for Thursday programming from Bonero and Lollapalooza, ACL is held over 2 weekends but doesn't run on Thursdays. Hulu also offers special footage from behind the scenes as well. So link is up in the show notes on that. Facebook Pay will soon become Meta Pay. I don't think any of us really care. Is anybody actually using Facebook Pay? Meta is renaming its products little by little now. So Meta Pay instead of Facebook Pay. Does anyone really care? Is it even news? First of all, does anyone actually use? Again, does anyone use Facebook Pay? This weekend, if you're outside, a total blood moon eclipse is happening this weekend. So what's going to happen is that 9:30 Eastern, the P numeral eclipse results in only part of the moon going dark. The partial eclipse, when the moon appears to move into the umbra and part of the moon inside the umbra will appear very dark, will occur just before 10:30 p.m. Totality will be just before 11:30 p.m. when the entire moon is inside Earth's umbra and transforms to a coppery red hue. So totality will end before 1 a.m. Monday, and the P numeral eclipse will end at 2:50 a.m. So just to get that click, it's Sunday at 9:30 Eastern. If you have a clear sky, go out and take a peek. Take a shot of water here. The 15,000 mile per hour space crash that may help save the future of mankind is soon to be upon us. Yes, one day, late in September, a box-shaped spacecraft weighing approximately half a ton will slam into an asteroid 7 million miles away from Earth at a speed of 15,000 miles per hour in a bid to knock it into a new orbit. This is all about trying to save mankind from an asteroid. It's the double asteroid redirection test. So we'll see, but it's going to take a few years to get all the results back. So time will tell. This is a mission for planet Earth, all peoples of Earth, because we would all be threatened, said NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, who added that DART hasn't turned science fiction into science facts. Oh, he says, who added DART has turned science fiction into science fact. I guess I got that right the first time. I must apologize. As you can tell, I'm not firing on all cylinders here. Hey, Royal Mail wants fleet of 500 drones to carry mail to remote UK communities. The next 3 years, it hopes up to 200 drones will help carry the mail on 50 new routes, with the Isle of Scilly, Shetland Islands, Orkney Islands, and the Hebrides the first to benefit. New service needs approval from the Civil Air Authority. It says the new routes will depend on the ongoing planned improvement in unmanned aerial vehicle economies. And Royal Mail has been testing the use of drones for some time, with most recent trial held in April in the Shetland Islands. The drones delivered mail between Tingwall Airport in Lerwick to Britain, most northerly inhabited island, a 41-mile flight each way. So how much can it carry? It can carry up to 220 pounds. Huh. I could see where, and these are like big drones. These are like big. These aren't like your little itty bitty drones. It's a 2-engine drone, and it looks more aircraft than drone, as you would expect. So seems like it makes sense to me that they'll be able to do that. This actually seems like a good idea. Maybe not for the pilots that have been flying it over there to begin with. All right, PC World has 10 ways to upgrade your work desk for less than $100. These are comfy additions to your computer desk that won't strain your wallet. So what do we have? We've got a fancy desk mat. Okay. Some good speakers. That sounds all right. What else? A good microphone. Oh, all these things are under $99. I got it. A headphone controller holder. Okay. A monitor arm. I would say that is an excellent idea, especially if you're not on a Mac. wireless phone charger, multi-device charger, USB hub, a monitor light. Okay, so they've got about $1,000 of upgrades. Again, each of these were less than $100, so not the package for $100 at all. Lego has built a $170 Transformer Optimus Prime that actually transforms. There's 19 points of articulation, and it's coming on June 1st. So again, an Optimus Prime that actually transforms. Sounds kind of cool. Can I just buy one that's already put together? And it does look like a semi before it transforms. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Lego's getting creative. So awesome on their designers. So over at phys.org, FHYS.org, a satellite mission finds that the Tonga volcanic eruption, that eruption affected space. When the Hunga Hapa volcano erupted on January 15th, it sent atmospheric shock waves, sonic booms, and tsunami waves around the world. Now, scientists are finding the volcano's effects also reach space. Analyzing data from NASA's Ionospheric Connection Explorer, the satellite found that in the hours after the eruption, the hurricane speed winds and unusual electric currents formed in the ionosphere, Earth's electrified upper atmospheric layer at the edge of space. The volcano created one of the largest disturbances in space we've seen in the modern era. He says this is allowing us to test the poorly understood connection between the lower atmosphere and space. So, very interesting. That big boom made a big boom above it. You would think it would, wouldn't it? Makes sense. Elon Musk is facing a federal probe over late disclosure of his initial Twitter stake. He is also facing an investor lawsuit and FTC investigation. Of course. Of course, the FTC will not comment. Neither will the SEC, blah, blah, blah. AT&T will use phone location data to route 911 calls to the right responders. It uses GPS and hybrid information to locate devices within 50 meters. Well, this is good. So again, AT&T is launching location-based routing of wireless 911. The company says it'll be the first U.S. carrier to quickly and more accurately identify where a wireless 911 call is coming from using the device's GPS and hybrid information that allow it to route the call to the correct 911 call center, which can then dispatch first responders to the right location faster. So, all right. Very, very cool. So, it's been some of this out there already, but nothing super accurate. Sony's Xperia 1 IV is a pricey proof of concept. Real zoom for a steep price. You know, Sony's always had beautiful phones, but you don't see too many of them here in the United States. They just don't get around that much. You don't see them. It's a $1,599 phone. It's a very expensive price concept, and premium specs on it with a 6.5-inch 4K monitor, OLED with 120 hertz refresh rate. There's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, IP68 waterproofing, 512 gigs of storage, 112 gigs of RAM, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So this is very close to an iPhone 13 price at that level. So, of course, running on Android. Do you have an account with Best Mobile? Best Mobile will let you pay your phone bill by watching ads and playing games. They're debuting a new way to pay your phone bill by gamifying your attention, saving you a few pennies with every ad you watch. Can you pay for your whole bill? Let me look at this. Customers will need to spend time to save cash. One of the carrier's so-called Boost Coin knocks a single cent off their bill, and in a video demonstration, watching a several-second ad awarded the watcher 2 Boost Coins. There's also a spin-to-win wheel that gets players between 5 and 500 coins, which equates to 5 cents and $5. Boost didn't provide other examples for how long it would take to pay off your phone bill, but given these low payouts, it might take a while, especially since the average phone bill costs consumers about $100. So, interesting move here by Boost Mobile. Clearview AI settles lawsuit brought by ACLU. Oh, we covered that in the last show. So we had that in there as a dupe. Sorry about that. iPhone 15, the rumor is it's going to switch to from Lightning to a USB-C. Finally. Apple's going to ditch its proprietary Lightning port and switch to a USB-C on all or possibly some models of the iPhone 15 lineup, destined to launch in the second half of 2023. This is pretty important here. And, of course, they're under a lot of pressure. The EU continues to move forward, passing its new legislation would force Apple to adopt USB-C on all iPhones. So just put it in place. Why have something unique? Doesn't make any sense to have anything unique at this point. So I'm going to be straight up. We're through the show. Got through pretty quickly today. Just as well. I'm struggling. And I want to thank all of you for being here for episode 1601 on the March to 1700. Again, I'll be out all next week. I'll be down in Orlando. If you're in striking distance, drop me an email. Love to get together with you. Hope to see my grandbabies while I'm down there as well, of course. That's kind of a plan. But overall, it's going to be a very, very busy week. We're at a show with over 7,000 people attending, and we're one of 2 exhibitors with this particular product that we're down there for. So I think we're going to be pretty busy and have our hands full. So hopefully my nose, sinuses, and throat cooperate, or it's going to be a very, very long week. But I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the family. Geeknews@gmail.com is the place to send your emails. Of course, you can reach out to me on Twitter @geeknews. It's been my pleasure to bring you the show today. And all of you stay safe. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. We'll see you when I get back. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.